The morning started like any other on Earth. People went to work, children played in parks, and life moved forward with its usual rhythm. Nobody noticed the massive ships hiding behind Jupiter's shadow, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Commander Jack stood on the bridge of the United Earth Defense Station Alpha, monitoring the usual space traffic. His coffee had gone cold hours ago, but he didn't care. Something felt wrong today. The readings on his screen showed minor fluctuations in gravitational fields near Jupiter, but the automated systems dismissed them as solar wind interference. "Sir, we're getting strange signals from Mining Station 7, reported Lieutenant Maria, her fingers dancing across her console. "They're saying something about shadows moving where there shouldn't be any." Jack frowned and pulled up the station's feed on his main screen. Mining Station 7 orbited Europa, one of Jupiter's moons. The video feed showed nothing unusual at first, just the regular ice-covered surface and the dark space beyond. Then he saw it, a ripple in space itself, like heat waves rising from hot pavement. But this was the vacuum of space where such things were impossible. "Alert all stations." "Something's not right out there," Jack ordered, his military instincts kicking in after years of peaceful service. The attack came without warning. Hundreds of sleek, silver ships materialized from seemingly nowhere, their cloaking technology far beyond anything humanity had imagined. They moved with impossible speed, ignoring the laws of physics that humans had studied for centuries. The first wave hit Mars Colony Beta, turning the thriving settlement into glass and ash within minutes. Earth's defense satellites activated automatically, firing their railguns and plasma cannons at the invaders. The alien ships didn't even slow down. Their shields absorbed the impacts like raindrops hitting an umbrella. They responded with beams of green energy that cut through Earth's defenses like a hot knife through butter. President Wilson watched from the underground bunker in Colorado as city after city fell. New York, London, Tokyo, Moscow, all reduced to burning ruins within the first hour. The aliens didn't communicate, didn't demand surrender, didn't explain their actions. They simply destroyed everything in their path with cold mechanical efficiency. "How many people have we lost?" Wilson asked his aide, Tom, though he already knew the answer would be devastating. "First estimates suggest over 200 million, sir. And that number is climbing every minute," Tom replied, his voice hollow with shock. The alien ground forces landed next. They stood 8 feet tall, covered in biomechanical armor that seemed to be part of their bodies. Their weapons fired projectiles that passed through solid matter before exploding inside their targets. Human soldiers fought bravely, but fell quickly. Tanks, jets, and missiles proved useless against the invaders' superior technology, in a hidden laboratory beneath the Swiss Alps. Dr. Smith worked frantically with his team. They had one advantage the aliens didn't know about: Project Phoenix, a secret program that had been developing experimental weapons based on quantum mechanics. The technology was untested and dangerous, but they had no choice now. "The quantum disruptor is ready, but we need time to charge it," Smith told General Brown over the secure communication line. "How much time?" Brown asked, watching his tactical display show more and more areas of Earth turning red as they fell to alien control. 12 hours, minimum. "Can you give us that?" Brown looked at the brave soldiers under his command, knowing what he was about to ask of them. "We'll buy you that time, Doctor. Make it count." As the first day ended, Earth lay in ruins. 3 billion humans were dead or missing. The survivors hid in bunkers, caves, and anywhere they could find shelter. The aliens had made a statement with their overwhelming attack, showing humanity how insignificant they were in the grand scheme of the universe. But in the darkness of defeat, something stirred within the human spirit. It wasn't fear or despair. It was rage. Pure, burning rage at these invaders who had attacked without provocation, without mercy, without reason. The aliens had awakened something primal in humanity, something that had been sleeping since humans had become civilized. They had made a fatal mistake. They had united humanity in Fury. 3 days after the initial attack. The aliens controlled 70% of Earth's surface. They established massive structures that rose into the sky like metallic mountains, purposes unknown but clearly important to their plans. The surviving human forces had retreated to underground bunkers and hidden mountain bases, communicating through old analog systems. The aliens seemingly ignored. General Brown stood before a holographic map in the command center buried deep beneath the Rocky Mountains. Red dots marked alien positions, while the few remaining blue dots showed human strongholds. The situation looked hopeless, but Brown had seen hopeless before. He had learned in his 40 years of military service that humans performed best when pushed to the lunar edge. Report from all sectors, he commanded, his voice steady despite the weight on his shoulders. Captain Mike stepped forward with a data pad. The resistance groups in Asia have managed to capture some alien equipment. They report the aliens call themselves the Krell Empire. They're harvesting our planet's core minerals, apparently. Earth has a unique combination of elements they need for their technology. So we're just another mining operation to them. Brown muttered, his fists clenching. What about Project Phoenix? Dr. Smith reports they're ahead of schedule. The quantum disruptor will be ready in 8 hours, but they've also made another discovery. The alien shields have a frequency pattern. If we can match it with an inverse wave, we might be able to penetrate them. Hope flickered in Brown's eyes for the first time in days. Get that information to all remaining forces. And what about the civilians? We've managed to evacuate 12 million to the underground cities. The aliens seem focused on the surface and haven't detected our deeper installations yet, Mike reported. Meanwhile, in the ruins of Chicago, a group of survivors led by a former mechanic named Dave had made their own discovery. While hiding in a collapsed subway tunnel, they had found a damaged Krell warrior. The alien was dying, its armor cracked and leaking a blue fluid that seemed to be its blood. Should we help it? Asked Lisa, a nurse who had survived the hospital bombing. Dave stared at the creature that had helped destroy his world. Part of him wanted to finish it off, but something in its eyes, if those were eyes, seemed almost familiar. Fear. The alien was afraid. We're not them. Dave decided. Lisa, do what you can. As Lisa worked to stop the bleeding, the alien's armor began to translate its words. The voice was mechanical, but understandable. Why ... help ... enemy? Because that's what humans do, Dave replied. We can choose to be better than our enemies. The Krell warrior, who identified itself as Pilot Rex, revealed crucial information as Lisa treated its wounds. The Krell Empire had consumed hundreds of worlds, but they had never encountered a species that showed mercy to fallen enemies. In Krell society, weakness meant death, and compassion was considered a fatal flaw. Your species ... different. Krell Council said ... Humans weak ... emotional. Easy target. Rex struggled to speak through pain. Yeah? Well, your council got that wrong, Dave said grimly. Those emotions they think make us weak? They're about to learn what happens when you threaten everything we love. Back in the Swiss laboratory, Dr. Smith and his team had made a breakthrough. Not only had they completed the quantum disruptor, but they had also discovered something extraordinary in the captured Krell technology. The aliens. Faster-than-light communication system had a fatal flaw. It was connected to every Krell ship and warrior through a quantum entanglement network. If we can inject a virus into this network, we could disable their entire fleet simultaneously, Smith explained to the military leaders gathered via secure video link. What kind of virus? President Wilson asked from his bunker. A quantum consciousness virus. It would overload their shared network with human thoughts and emotions, everything they consider weakness. Their systems wouldn't know how to process it. It was a long shot, but it was the best chance they had. The plan required 3 components: the quantum disruptor to break through their shields, conventional forces to distract them, and a small team to upload the virus directly into a Krull command ship. As preparations began for humanity's counterattack, Rex, the wounded Krell warrior, made a choice that would change everything. It gave Dave the command codes for a Krell transport ship hidden in Lake Michigan. "Why are you helping us?" Lisa asked. "Krell Empire." "Wrong about humans. You show mercy to enemy. You fight when hopeless. You choose others over self. Maybe Krell need to learn from humans, not destroy them." A gathering storm was about to break, and humanity would show the universe why Earth was not to be underestimated. Asterisk. The counterattack began at dawn on the 7th day. Across the globe, hidden human forces emerged from their bunkers simultaneously, following a coordinated plan that had been distributed through ancient ham radios and coded messages. The Krell, confident in their superiority, had grown complacent, never expecting the scattered remnants of humanity to mount an organized resistance. In Nevada, Captain Mike led the first strike team. Using the frequency data from the captured Krell technology, his engineers had modified the remaining weapons. The first modified missile struck a Krell harvester machine, and for the first time, the alien shields flickered and failed. The massive structure crumbled, sending a cloud of dust into the desert sky. "It works. The shields are down. All units fire at will." Mike shouted into his radio. The news spread like wildfire through the resistance networks. Humanity had found a weakness, and they exploited it mercilessly. Modified weapons began hitting Krell positions worldwide, catching the invaders completely off guard. The aliens, who had conquered worlds for millennia, had never faced a species that adapted so quickly. High in orbit, Admiral Kate commanded humanity's last space-worthy vessel, the battleship Prometheus. It had been hiding on the dark side of the moon, powered down to avoid detection. Now, with the modified weapons online, she gave the order that would begin the space phase of the counterattack. All fighters launch. Target their command ships. Show them that humans don't give up. 30 fighters, piloted by the best humanity had left, screamed toward the Krell fleet. The aliens responded quickly, their ships moving to intercept, but the human pilots flew with a desperate creativity that the logical Krell couldn't predict. They used gravity wells, debris fields, and even their own ships as weapons, ramming into Krell vessels when their ammunition ran out. Meanwhile, Dave and his team, along with the wounded Rex, had reached the hidden Krell transport. The alien ship was unlike anything humans had built. Organic curves mixed with crystalline structures, controls that responded to thought as much as touch. "Can you fly this thing?" Lisa asked Dave. "Rex is teaching me through the armor interface." "It's like the ship is alive," Dave replied, his hands moving over controls he somehow understood. "We need to get to their command ship. That's where we upload the virus." As they lifted off, Rex made a final decision. "I will help you board. My codes will get us past security. But Krell will know I am traitor. They will kill me slowly. Then we'd better make sure we win," Dave said firmly. "You're one of us now, Rex." In the Swiss laboratory, Dr. Smith initiated the quantum disruptor. The massive machine hummed with power that made the air itself vibrate. Through quantum entanglement, the disruptor sent waves across dimensions, targeting the source of Krell's power, their homeworld's quantum core that powered their entire civilization. "Energy building to critical mass," Smith announced. "When this hits, every Krell ship will lose primary power for exactly 17 minutes. That's our window." President Wilson, watching from his bunker, gave the final order. "All forces, prepare for Operation Wrath. In T-minus 60 seconds, "We show them what humanity is made of," the disruptor fired. Across Earth and space, Krell technology flickered and died. Ships fell from the sky, shields collapsed, and weapons went silent. For 17 crucial minutes, the technological advantage was gone. Humanity struck with everything they had. Nuclear missiles, kept in reserve, found their targets. Soldiers with conventional weapons charged Krell positions. Citizens with nothing but improvised weapons attacked their oppressors. The rage that had been building for 7 days exploded across the planet. Dave's team reached the Krell command ship just as the power failed. Rex, true to its word, led them through corridors filled with confused Krell warriors. Some tried to stop them with physical combat, but humans had been fighting with fists and fury since the dawn of time. Dave's team fought with a savage grace the Krell couldn't match. They reached the central communication node, a massive crystalline structure pulsing with dim emergency power. Dr. Smith's virus was ready on a human datapad, modified with Krell components. "This is for Earth," Dave said as he initiated the upload. The virus spread instantly through the quantum network. Every Krell across the galaxy was suddenly flooded with human experiences. Love, hate, fear, hope, sadness, joy, and most of all, the indomitable will to survive. Their logical minds couldn't process the chaos of human emotion. Krell warriors collapsed, overwhelmed by feelings they had never experienced. Their shared consciousness, their greatest strength, became their weakness as the virus spread from mind to mind. The tide had turned, and humanity's wrath was just beginning. Asterisk. The Krell command ship drifted powerlessly in Earth's orbit as the virus ravaged their quantum network. Inside, Dave watched in amazement as Krell warriors writhed on the floor, their minds overloaded with human experiences. Rex, protected by the modified armor that Lisa had treated, stood beside them as the only unaffected Krell. "Your species' emotions. They're destroying the collective consciousness," Rex observed, its voice filled with something that sounded like awe. The Krell never imagined consciousness could be weaponized this way. On Earth's surface, the 17 minutes of power loss had been devastating for the invaders. Human forces had retaken major cities, destroyed hundreds of harvesting machines, and captured numerous Krell warriors who were too disoriented to fight. But as the quantum disruptor's effect wore off, everyone knew the real battle was just beginning. General Brown coordinated the global assault from his command center. "All units, Phase 2. They'll adapt to our shield-breaking frequency soon. Hit them with everything before they recover." In Moscow's ruins, Russian forces led by Colonel Anna had surrounded a major Krell base. As power returned to the alien weapons, Anna made a tactical decision that would be remembered in history books. "Detonate the underground gas lines," she ordered. Turn their own base into a trap. The explosion that followed could be seen from space. The Krell base, built over Moscow's vast underground gas network, became an inferno. The aliens, for all their advanced technology, hadn't considered that humans would destroy their own cities to defeat an enemy. Similar tactics played out worldwide. Humans used their own infrastructure as weapons, flooding valleys where Krell forces gathered, triggering controlled avalanches in mountain passes, even crashing commercial aircraft into alien positions. The Krell had expected a conventional war, but humans fought with the desperate creativity of a species with nothing left to lose. In space, Admiral Kate pressed the advantage. "All ships ramming speed? Take out their engines while they're still recovering." The Prometheus, humanity's last battleship, accelerated toward the largest Krell vessel. Kate knew it was a one-way trip, but she also knew that every Krell ship destroyed here was one that couldn't call for reinforcements. "Admiral, we're receiving a transmission from the Krell flagship," her communications officer reported. They're requesting terms. For the first time since the invasion began, the Krell were talking. The transmission came through, translated by their technology. Human species. We acknowledge ... miscalculation. Your emotional quantum weapon ... unprecedented. Propose cessation of hostilities. President Wilson, connected via quantum communicator, responded with controlled fury. You killed 3 billion of our people, destroyed our cities. And now you want to talk? Here are our terms. Complete withdrawal from Earth, all technology left behind. And you never come back. Impossible. Krell Empire does not retreat. We offer coexistence. Humans can serve the Empire as... No. Wilson's voice cut through like ice. You made a fatal mistake. You united humanity. Every nation, every culture, every human being on this planet now has one goal: your complete defeat. We'll upload that virus to every world in your empire if necessary. Dave, still on the command ship, had found something in the Krell databases. Mr. President, you need to see this. They've done this to hundreds of worlds, but none of them fought back like we did. The Krell Empire is built on fear, not strength. Asterisk. Dr. Smith's voice joined the communication. I can modify the virus to be permanent. Every Krell will experience human emotions forever. They'll never be able to return to their pure logic state. The Krell commanders' response revealed something unexpected: fear. You would alter our entire species? That is genocide of consciousness, like what you did to the Martian colonies. Wilson shot back. Like the children you killed in their schools? You showed no mercy, and now you beg for it? Rex stepped forward, speaking to its own kind for the first time since helping the humans. Commander, I have lived with human emotions for days. They are not weakness. They make choices we cannot comprehend. They will destroy themselves to destroy us. The Empire was wrong. We must withdraw. A battle raged for 6 more hours. Krell forces, realizing their command was considering retreat, fought with renewed desperation. But humans, sensing victory, fought with a fury that transcended logic. Civilians joined soldiers. Children threw Molotov cocktails at alien armor, and elderly people drove vehicles into Krell positions. The wrath humanity unleashed wasn't just military. It was the rage of a species protecting its home, its future, its right to exist. And against that primal fury, even the mighty Krell Empire had to acknowledge defeat. Asterisk, the Krell fleet began its withdrawal on the 10th day. Their massive ships, once symbols of inevitable conquest, now limped away from Earth's orbit, many bearing scars from humanity's desperate defense. The virus had spread through 60% of their forces before they managed to isolate it, leaving thousands of Krell permanently changed, experiencing emotions they had suppressed for millennia. From the ruins of New York, General Brown watched the alien ships disappear into hyperspace. Don't celebrate yet, he warned his staff. They might come back with a bigger fleet, but Dr. Smith had ensured they wouldn't. The virus included a genetic marker. Any Krell who experienced it will pass emotional capacity to their offspring. We didn't just defeat them, General. We changed them forever. Dave stood with Rex on the observation deck of the captured command ship, now under human control. The alien had chosen to stay, becoming humanity's first extraterrestrial ally. Your people will never be the same, Dave said. Neither will yours, Rex replied. Humans have announced themselves to the galaxy. Others will come, some as enemies, some as friends. Earth is no longer hidden. President Wilson addressed the surviving population from the rebuilt Capitol. His words were broadcast using Krell technology, reaching every corner of Earth and, unknowingly, deep into space where other civilizations listened. We lost 3 billion souls. Our cities lie in ruins, but we survived. We showed the universe that humanity will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We will live on. We will rebuild. And if anyone else wants to test us, they now know what we're capable of. The rebuilding began immediately. Using captured Krell technology, humanity advanced centuries in mere months. Cities rose from the ashes, with shield generators protecting them. Medical technology saved millions who would have died from radiation and injuries. Space travel became commonplace as humans reverse-engineered Krell engines. Captain Mike led the new Earth Defense Force, equipped with weapons that combined human creativity with alien technology. Never again became their motto. Never again will Earth be caught unprepared. Lisa, the nurse who had saved Rex, founded the first interspecies medical program. She worked with Rex to understand Krell biology, finding ways to help those affected by the virus adapt to their new emotional states. Some Krell even requested to stay on Earth, curious about these feelings that had defeated their empire. 6 months after the invasion, humanity received its first alien visitors who came in peace. The Galactic Council, a loose alliance of species that had long feared the Krell Empire, arrived to meet the species that had done the impossible. Ambassador Zara, a being of pure energy contained in a crystalline form, addressed the United Earth Assembly. For 10,000 years, the Krell conquered without resistance. You not only defeated them, but transformed them. The galaxy watches Earth with great interest and, honestly, some fear. We didn't want this war, Wilson replied, but we'll finish any war brought to us. That is what concerns some members of the Council. Your species' capacity for violence when threatened is extraordinary, but your mercy to defeated enemies is equally remarkable. We offer Earth membership in the Council with full voting rights. It was a historic moment. Humanity, nearly extinct just months ago, was now recognized as a galactic power. But the victory had come at a terrible cost. Dave visited the memorial wall in Chicago, where billions of names were being added daily. He found his family's names and placed his hand on the cold metal. Rex stood beside him, having learned the human custom of mourning. Do you regret helping us? Dave asked. No. I learned something the Empire never understood. Strength isn't about technology or logic. It's about what you're willing to sacrifice for others. Humans taught the galaxy that lesson. A year later, Earth had become a hub of galactic trade and diplomacy. The Krell Empire, fundamentally changed by the virus, had reformed into the Krell Federation, with emotional Krell advocating for peaceful coexistence. Some even immigrated to Earth, wanting to understand the species that had transformed them. Dr. Smith received the first Galactic Peace Prize for his virus that had ended the war without genocide. In his acceptance speech, he said, "Humanity's greatest weapon wasn't our technology or our rage. It was our capacity to feel, to love, to hope even in the darkest hour. We didn't just defeat the Krell, we freed them from themselves." As Earth's first starships, built with hybrid human-Krell technology, launched toward the stars, humanity carried a simple message to the universe. We come in peace, but we're prepared for war. We offer friendship, but we'll meet aggression with wrath. We are humans. We survive. We adapt. We overcome. The fatal mistake the aliens made wasn't underestimating human technology or military might. It was underestimating the human spirit, the unconquerable flame that burns in every human heart, ready to become an inferno when everything they love is threatened. Earth was no longer alone, but it would never again be helpless. ****